Come on up in this atmosphere of worship. The joy that floods my soul. Oh, something wonderful happened. And now I know He touched me and praise the Lord Jesus. Praise God. I love you, Lord Jesus. I love you, Lord Jesus. Blessed be the name of the Lord God. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Praise God.
And before I read and before we are seated, I want to say a quick prayer for my kids who are on their way, somewhere between Charleston and here by now.
Praise God.
Anyway, so we'll just say a quick prayer. Since
Sure.
it's raining outside, as a mother, I know they're adults. I got that memo years ago, but I still want them to be safe.
Yeah, amen.
In Jesus' name, because I feel like even though they're not going to make church, that God's going to do something in their lives while
All
they're
right.
here.
All right.
And you know, you have to step out by faith and just know those things sometimes. So let's just pray. Their names are Leah and JT, or Leah and Joseph. So Lord, today,
Jesus,
thank you for your blessings.
I pray, God, for Leah and JT. And I'm praying, God, that you would give them safety upon the road. Let angels guide you upon their car. Let angels be upon them what you have. God, restore them back. Restore them back to the sheepfold. In the name of Jesus, we plead the blood of Jesus. In Jesus' name.
Okay, you can see I like short and sweet when it comes to my needs. John chapter 5, beginning with verse 1. Yesterday morning, the Lord gave me the scripture. And the Lord swept into that living room where I'm at, and me and him, I had time. I was like 15 minutes late to Brother Christ. But you know what? God comes first.
All
And
right.
I was having a time with him, and tears streaming down my face as he swept in there. It was just me and him. And we need those times. We need those times frequently. So if we'll go to John chapter 5 and verse 1, the title this morning is, Are We God's Delight?
All right.
And this goes right along. Now I know why the Lord added this passage. It says, After this there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, the blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. And that's what we are today. We're blind, we're halt.
Yeah. All right.
You know, we have all kinds of ailments going on within ourselves.
Sure.
For an angel went down in a certain season into the pool and troubled the water.
Yeah.
Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And I believe this morning the water's troubled by someone here who is desperate before God.
All right.
And because they troubled the water, everybody will benefit.
Yeah. All right.
And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
Wilt thou be made whole?
Will you be made whole this morning?
Yeah, that's the question.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately, let me read that again. It says, and immediately.
Immediately.
It wasn't tomorrow, it wasn't the next day, it was immediately.
Yeah.
The man was made whole.
Right.
And took up his bed and walked, and on the same day was the Sabbath. And now here come the religious people.
Yeah.
The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It's the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then answered they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed was not who it was. He didn't know that Jesus had touched him.
Right.
He didn't know it was Jesus.
Right.
For Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Jesus findeth him in the temple and saith unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more.
That's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing coming to you. Let's pray. Pastor Christ.
Lord Jesus, I thank you today again for the anointing in your presence that already permeates and fills this sanctuary. I pray today, God, that you would use Sister Smith to speak what thus saith the Lord to the church for this day, for this time, for this hour, and for this Sunday school service. I pray, God, that you would bless it and that your will would be done in earth as it is in heaven. And we give you praise for it and thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, that the church said amen.
Amen.
Y'all may be seated. Now I'm going to try to teach, okay? I'm not too good at this anymore. Because
You'll do
the anointing
good.
gets to moving and I just follow it wherever it takes me.
Trust me, I know the feeling.
I know you too. So, this scripture, I'm not really sure how it goes with what God wants me to do, but whoever you are, and for whatever reason the Lord had me read that scripture, you know.
All right.
And you know what God has for you today. But what you need to know is there's a responsibility when you get a healing.
Yeah, all.
There's a responsibility when you get a miracle.
All right.
The Bible says, Jesus himself said the words. He said, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come into you.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to understand the responsibilities that we have when we are healed. It's just like I've been healed from pancreatic cancer. Your pastor's back from death with brain surgery. We have a responsibility on our lives now that we can't just walk away from.
That's right.
I guess we could choose to walk away, but you see, I've chosen that I can't make that choice. I've chosen that I will follow God and that I will do what God wants.
Right.
I want to be God's delight.
All right.
And in Numbers 14 and 8 it says, if the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey.
Right.
So I want him to delight in me because I want to see the land flowing with milk and honey. I never want to walk away from that. It also says in Psalms 37 and 23, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
Right.
And he delighteth in his way. We always want to quote, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, but we forget. The man delights in God's ways.
Right.
You see, it's twofold. We've got to do both points. So what brings God delight? Willing circumcision of the heart. And I've got Bible for every point. Deuteronomy 10, 14 through 16. Behold the heaven, and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's thy God, the earth also and all that therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
All right.
I can stop there and preach all day.
Yeah.
I don't have time because I have a bunch of points, and God told me to do it all. So you've got to circumcise your own heart. You've got to look at your own heart and get the things out that shouldn't be there. If you've been in church for a few years, you need to look around and see how the others live, and you need to model yourself after Christians
All
who have been
right.
here for years, who are living their lives above reproach. You need to, and if you have questions, you need to come to the pastor. You need to ask him so that you know what to do and how to do it and which way you should do it.
Good teaching.
Let's go on. Obedience. 1 Samuel 15, 21 through 23. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
We got an awful lot of stuff in our lives.
Come on.
That should have been utterly destroyed. But we want to hang on to it. We don't want to let it go. We cling to things we should not cling to.
All right.
It's time for us to start clinging to the things of God and destroying the things of the devil that are in our lives.
Right.
Verse 1, it says, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, hath the Lord great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, and obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So he's saying there, because back then it was all about sacrifices. He's saying, no, you got this wrong. It's better for you to obey than for you to give me sacrificial offerings. It's better for you to obey me than to do anything for me. If you'll just obey me and do what I ask you, then I will bless you. I will multiply you. I will give you the land.
That's right. Go ahead.
So let's go on. And then verse 23, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord. He
That's
also
right.
rejected thee from being king.
That's right.
So it's up to you what you allow in your life, whether God will accept you, whether you will be his delight, or whether he will reject you. You've got to understand, you can't be looking down on people because they don't look just like you, or because they don't live just like you. It's time for us to realize that we may have the sin of adultery, not but idolatry. We may have some sins in our lives that we don't want to bother. We have iniquity. We want things other people have. We get jealous. We think we should be judge of all and Lord of all. When the only Lord is the Jesus Christ.
Right.
And if anybody in this church needs to judge anything, it's the pastor. It's not any saint in this building. It should be brought to him for him to make those decisions because that's his place of authority. You need to stay in your place. You get out of your place with God, let me tell you what will happen. You'll have disease and all kinds of mayhem and trouble in your families. It's time for you to stay in your place with God.
All right.
Amen.
So let me go on. Humbleness. Boy, that's a good one for Pentecostals. Proverbs 11, 1 through 3. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
Yes, it
But
is.
a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Think about that. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Right.
That's when you get things out of kilter. That's when you start to know more than the pastor and you think you have the right to call people out on social media, or you have the right to stop somebody and say, hey, this is wrong, you can't do this. It's not your place. It's just simply not your place.
All right.
I know, because I have 2 backslidden children because of that stupid nonsense.
Talk about it.
So it's time for us to own up and be adults about this and realize that while we may not like what we saw, it's not our place. It's to go get the parent, or it's to go get the pastor. It's to let them know what's going on. It's not for us to reach out and do it ourselves. It's time for us to stay in our place, in the sanctuary.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go on. Honesty. Now there we can stop there a while.
Right.
Proverbs 12, 21 through 22. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. You lie, you're an abomination to God.
That's right.
That's what the book says. He hates you. I don't care if you're full of the Holy Ghost. That's what the Bible says. It's time for you to clean up your act. It's time for you to be truly Christ-like. It's time for us to quit making excuses for our stupidity and our nonsense. We can make every excuse in the book for what we do and for the things we do and how we do them.
Right.
I know, believe me, when I was married, before my husband died, because I made the money, I'd go shopping. Well, he was spending money on cigarettes. I felt like if he could spend $400 a week on cigarettes, I could go shopping. Now, he smoked a lot. And I'd bring it in. I'd just make sure it got hit, the tags got took off. And then when he saw it, he said, where'd you get that? Oh, I've had it a while. Yeah, 24 hours. It's lying. It's lying. It's time for us to be honest. It's time for us to stand up and say, oh, I bought that yesterday.
All right.
You know that $400 a week you spend on cigarettes? Well, me and the kids are going to have some stuff.
All right.
It's not all going to go up in smoke.
Ha.
That's what I should have said. Because that's literally where it was going. It was going up in smoke.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money, but because of his addictions, we didn't have a lot. So it's time for us to take ownership of our problems and be responsible for our actions. And
right.
If you are in here and you smoke or you snuff or any of that stuff, I got news for you. You're destroying the temple of God.
Yeah.
It's time for you to step away from it and you to ask God to release you from it and to make you sick every time you put that cigarette in your mouth, or every time you put snuff, or every time you pick up a pill you shouldn't pick up. You need to ask God to make you sick. And if you can't do it, come to me. I can. Because I got a personal problem with all that stuff, okay? Because my husband took his own life with medication. So you ask me to pray? Oh, I'll pray. I won't forget it. I will pray every day. When God wakes me up in the middle of the night, it'll be the first thing that comes to my mind, and I will pray against it.
All right.
Okay? That's what you need. You need somebody on your side that's got a personal problem with it. Because when you got a personal problem with something, you pray different.
Come on.
You don't pray like everybody else.
Yeah.
Because when I stood up in Boston to pray that witchcraft prayer that Friday night, you see, it was a personal thing with me.
Yeah.
Because it had been 4 years since my husband had killed himself.
My God.
Day. So when I stood up to pray, in my mind, I was looking the devil in the eye and I was saying, you come get me. Because I've had enough of your stupidity and your nonsense. I'm not going to lie anymore. I'm going to live my life right. And I got news for you. No more will you put me on the defensive.
All right.
Maybe you're going to be on the offensive.
All right.
I'm on the defensive. And I'm coming straight for you. And I'm coming straight for your kingdom. I'm coming straight for anything that anybody has in their life that should not be there.
Yeah.
So let me go on. People who pray. Proverbs 15 and 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight.
His delight.
Think about that. You want to be God's delight? You need to be a people of prayer that are upright. It's not just being a prayer. You've got to be upright.
Upright.
you've got to be one that they can't find anything wrong with. It's time for us to stand up and say, okay, I got these issues. Lord, how do we fix this mess?
Hang up your
How do I go
hang-ups.
back and how do I fix this so that I can be considered upright? And I know our righteousness is as filthy rags in his eyes. Don't start quoting that to me. I know that. But we can take care of some things. We can get us to a certain degree.
Right.
So let's go on. And then there's people who delight themselves in the Lord. Isaiah 58, 12 through 14. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord. And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Let me go back to verse 13. It says, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day. So in other words, it's not about our pleasure today.
All right.
It's about his pleasure.
Yeah.
It's about what he wants from us.
Right.
It's time for us to realize that the weekends are not necessarily for us. They're for us to work for him.
All
They're
right.
for us to do something for God. They're for us to delight ourselves in the Lord. They're not for us to go, and I love fun, okay? We were supposed to go out on a boat today. I love having a good time because my kids are coming. I love that. And I will have a good time with them here. But first, my delight has to be in him.
All right.
First, I have to think of him before I think of my personal things and my personal issues. It's time for us to put God first. People will understand and know him is the next point, and I'm trying to move fast.
You're doing good.
Jeremiah 9, 23 through 25. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he knoweth. That he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised.
Yep.
So just because you think you've circumcised your heart, that one thing that you won't let go of, that one thing that stands between you and really being close to God, it's just one thing usually that's going to keep you from God. It's time for Christians to realize we got some house cleaning we need to do.
All right.
We got some stuff we need to take care of. And I'm talking about the people who've been in the church a while.
All right.
Okay?
Sure.
I'm talking about the ones who think they're right. If you think you're right, I fear for your soul. Because I know I'm not right. I know I have to pray. I know I have situations in my life that I need to deal with.
Sure.
And if you come up to me and you say, oh, I'm okay, everything's good with me. Well,
Yeah.
God help you is all I'll say.
That's right.
God help you. I'll pray for you.
I got to
Because
repent
God-
every day too, folks.
Yeah, because God needs to show you what you need to change in your world.
Yeah.
So what do we battle to be God's delight? Romans 7, 21 through 23 tells us, I find in the law that when I would do good, evil is present with me.
Yeah.
This is the apostle. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man, but I see another law in my members warring against the law of my mind and
Think
bringing
about
me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
Yeah.
We all struggle. We all have issues. We all have to go back and repent over things that we think we dealt with years ago.
Yeah.
That we think we put under the blood. But then they rear their head like that game that you play at Chuck E. Cheese with your kids where the things pop up out of the ground and you're stomping them. It's like that. You keep stomping it down, but it keeps popping up. Because somehow you haven't truly given it to God. And you may go years. And you may think that you've taken care of it. And all of a sudden, a word, a phrase, a smell.
Yeah. It'll creep
And
up.
it's just right back there it is.
Right.
Again. And that hurt and that pain and that anguish is just right there. And it can cause you to lose out with God if you
Sure.
don't deal with it right then.
That's
It's time
true.
for us to start dealing with things. As Brother Christ and I travel all over this county and to all these borders and all these mountains, and we're praying against the devil and we're taking dominion and authority, that means the church needs to be ready for the harvest that is here and that is starting.
Right.
All right.
Because we need you right first. And so that when these people are in the altars, there's only 2 of us. And there's a few others. But that's it. We need everybody to be at all firing on all cylinders.
All right.
We need everybody to be able to lay their hands.
Praise God.
Come on now.
We need more people to teach Bible studies. We need more people to knock good in your house.
That's true.
That God delights in you.
That's right. That's
So when
right.
we are His delight, what happens? Correction like a loving father to a child.
Right.
Proverbs 3:11-13. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of His correction. For whom the Lord loveth, He correcteth.
Right.
Even as a father the son in whom He delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. You gotta quit getting upset when one of us preaches something and it nails you to the wall. Half the time we don't know what we're preaching. We think we're preaching at us, not at you. Because before we get up here, the Lord has taken us to task.
That is the truth.
Delivering.
That is the
And
truth.
we have laid on the floor, making sure that we're right, making sure that whatever's in our
That
life,
is
God
the
taking
truth.
care of it. That's the part you don't see. You don't see the hours alone praying, the hours alone studying. Because we've got to make sure that we're good with God.
Right.
Before we get up here and try to help you.
Right.
Because standing behind this is the holiest place in the building.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a piece of wood, but I got news for you. It's the Holy of Holies. And before I
Woo.
stand behind you, I better be right with
Come
God.
on.
Because I can be like Abinadab and Nahu. I can be
Come on now.
fire to consume me for my sin.
Come on.
It's time for us to understand that when the Lord corrects us, He's doing it for our own good. Let's go on. Mercy. Micah 7:18-19. Who is a God like unto thee that pardoneth iniquity and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities. And thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea.
Right.
We serve a God who, if we ask Him, He will subdue. In other words, He'll stop our sin. He'll stop it. But you see, we got to delight in Him. We got to be His delight. We can't use mercy and grace as permission to sin, because we know we can go to church and repent, or we can fall on our knees and ask for repentance. It's time to take ownership.
All right.
It's time to be responsible.
All right.
Just like when you commit a crime, you go to jail. I mean, you're tried, you're convicted, and then you serve time.
Right.
I got news for you. It's time for the Christians to serve some time at the altar, making things right with God,
Right.
becoming His delight. Then the next point is deliverance by God. 2 Samuel 22:19-21. I love this passage. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay.
Yeah.
He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because He delighted in me.
As He delighted in me.
The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands.
Yeah.
Hath He recompensed me. Think about that a while. I want God to delight in me.
Yeah.
I want Him to deliver me into a large place. I want there to never be any doubt, especially with what I'm doing. And I've been contacted about a statue of the devil in
Detroit.
Detroit, yeah, couldn't think of it. And one that's being built in D.C. And there's tricks I'm going to make to go pray it, to go walk into the devil's kingdom and say, we've had enough of this. We demand that this statue be torn down. I mean, we demand the Lord tear it down.
Yeah.
That it fall. That it be destroyed in such a way that they can't deny that God did it.
Yeah.
They can't say man did it.
Come on.
It's time for us to have Baal fall. It's time for that thing to fail at the New York City at Central Park to come down. But first, we need to be right with God. And notice I keep saying we, because there's a lot of things in my life that need fixed and cleaned up.
All right.
We all clean up real well. But we all got some hidden stuff in our lives we don't want anybody to know about because it stinks. So it's time for us to get clean.
All right.
So
All
let me
right.
go on. Psalms 22:8. He trusted on the Lord that He would deliver him. Let Him deliver him, seeing He delighted in him. Are you getting the point? If we want God to delight in us, there's promises.
Right.
There's promises waiting for us just to reach out and say, that's mine.
Right.
You can't have it.
Right.
Yeah, I can walk up to the Satanic Temple and I can have a man tap me on the shoulder and disappear.
Yeah.
Because he's yelling at me. Because he's, wanting to cause havoc. But I stepped in there in the name of Jesus, and I had the blood of Jesus covering me. And I had been in prayer for 2 hours before we went, and I had been in prayer for weeks before we went, because I knew I was the one leading the charge to the Satanic Temple and to the witch statues. If you want to see things happen, you need to be one that God delights in.
All right.
You need to hang on to some promises, but when you grab those promises, you got to realize there's some things you got to keep doing. There's some things you can't touch.
All right.
Come on now.
Praise God.
So then He sets us up in authoritative places. 2 Chronicles 9:8. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which delighted in thee to set thee on His throne. to be king for the Lord thy God, because thy God loved Israel to establish them forever. Therefore made he thee king over them to do judgment and justice. You want positions, you get jealous of people who get promoted above you, or who get positions. It's like your pastor and I, we're the two renegades. And nobody understands why God's taken me the places he's taken me, and I'm walking across platforms in front of thousands of people, and nobody understands why I've stopped here, but that's okay. It's between me and God. When God tells you to stop, you got to obey.
All right.
That's when you delight in God, and he delights in you. I want him to always delight in me. I want to always be able to hear from him.
Of course.
But in order to be set and to be promoted,
Come on.
there's got to be some house cleaning done.
Sure.
You know, I know it's fall, we do house cleaning in the spring. I got news, Christians need to house clean every day. We need to go
Yeah.
clean our souls every day.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff. Our kids push our buttons. People push our buttons. Somebody cuts us off in traffic. Believe me, I know. Don't we, Sister Price? And then we floor it and go way over the speed limit and find out how fast the cars will go.
God bless them in Jesus' name.
Yeah. But we're human. That's what I want you to know is we're human. Whoever's here that you don't have a relationship with God like that, I got news for you. The people up here are just as human as you.
That's
we
right.
have problems just like you do.
That's right.
We have challenges. We have things that we don't know what to do with.
Right.
And you can come to pastor or to me, and we will counsel you. But did you ever think about who we go to? Who do we call in the midnight hour? Who do we talk to in the midnight hour? You know, you got to think about that for a while. Instead of being so you just focused on self. It's time to quit being focused on self and be focused on God.
All right.
God's our defender. Job 22, 25 through 27. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. And I know I testified about that night in Boston, but I can't get away from it, you see, because that night's when God restored my song. That night when Brother Sterneman, the Massachusetts, Rhode Island superintendent, blew that shofar when I got done praying, I danced all over that platform and I screamed. I could have cared less who saw me. I could have cared less who was sitting in the congregation.
All right.
Because it was about me and my God. It was about me being
Yeah.
together. It was about me getting where I needed to be.
Yeah.
See, that's what the Christians don't want to do. They don't want to realize that they need deliverance. It's time we have a deliverance service, and everybody in the building be part of it, because I guarantee you every single one of us have something we need delivered from.
All right.
God's delight. That thing that you've been battling with for 20 years
Go
that you
ahead.
can't seem to shake, I
Preach.
got news from you.
Preach.
You need to be delivered.
Yeah.
You know a God who can deliver you from it.
Glory.
It's time for us to have these things done in our lives.
Yeah.
Let me go on. You'll be blessed by God. Psalms 1 through 3. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor sitteth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Yeah.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Yeah.
You want to be blessed? Quit walking in ungodly counsel.
Ah.
Quit gossiping about your mess.
My God.
Counsel from somebody who has no right to be counseling anybody.
Yeah.
And you call your pastor, or you talk to somebody who you know has religious authority in your life. But you need to go to the person who has religious authority. But before you come to them, you need to go pray first, and you need to let God handle some stuff in your life.
All
you need
right.
to let God clean it out.
Absolutely.
Because when God cleans it out, you might not need counsel.
All right.
Let me go on.
That's good preaching. Good preaching.
And it says in his laws that he meditates day and night.
Yep.
Where's your Bible?
Yeah.
Oh, I have it electronically on my phone. Okay, that's great. How long has it been since you opened the app?
All right.
How long has it been since, if you can't read but you listen to it? Okay, how long has it been since you listened to the Word of God? You want to be blessed? You need to meditate in His Word. It says day and night.
Day and night.
Day and night. It needs to become part of you. Let's go on. Wealth and riches in His house is the next point. Psalms 112, 1 through 3. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord,
Yeah.
that delighted greatly in His commandments.
Yeah.
His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed.
Yeah.
Wealth and riches shall be in His house, and His righteousness endureth forever.
Amen.
Blessed is the man that delighteth in His commandments.
That delighteth in his
Greatly,
commandment.
delighteth greatly.
Delighteth greatly.
We all have issues with rules.
Sure.
Oh, why are they getting up there and their skirts are a little shorter than it should be? oh, he's got this or he's got that. Why are they up there? Well, you know what? If they're new in the church, I got news for you. You've got rebellion on you. And they're probably okay.
That's right.
It's time for you to quit judging who does what in the church. It's time. I'm sorry, I'm meddling.
No.
It's time for us to realize that God raises up who He will raise up because of their heart. You can't see their heart. You don't know what's in their heart.
Woe be unto them that will abort new babies.
All right.
Now I'll tell you right now, just as a sidebar, I don't even know what she's preaching, but I'll tell you what, we got a harvest. God's bringing in new people into the house of God. We need to show them in spirit and in appearance the way that we do it and the way to please God. But I tell you right now, the worst thing that could happen is for some Pharisaical individual that talks in tongues to pull somebody off to the side and give them what for while they're still growing and being a baby in the house of God. That's nothing more than spiritual abortion.
Amen. That's true. It's time for us to understand these things. The desires of our heart will be given to us. Psalms 37:4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Right.
You got to delight in God. How long has it been since you danced?
Hey.
Anybody rolled lately? I haven't. Anybody been slain lately? That's the other thing too. When people worship, they come in from the world, they're going to act differently.
Sure.
They're going to have moves that they had on the dance floor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you can't judge them for that. Don't you dare be looking down your nose at them. They're worshiping God. If you're sitting back there looking down your nose at them, I got news for you. You're the one that's lost and going to hell, and they're the one that's on their way to heaven.
All right.
That's the truth, and you know it's the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
Surely.
It's time for us to delight in God. It's time for us to quit judging other people how they worship, but to get in there with them and worship. Let God deal with their problems. We are not the ones to deal with their problems.
All right.
Peace given to you, Psalms 37:11. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
The meek.
Missing peace? Well, maybe you're not meek. Maybe you need to go back to the altar. Find your weakness.
Help us to be, Lord.
Let's go on, because I'm running out of time. Will not be utterly cast down, Psalms 37:23-24. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down.
He shall not be utterly cast down.
For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. It's time for us to realize that we will not be cast down, and God's going to hold us
Come
up.
on.
Delight in him, He'll delight in us.
Yeah.
It's time for us to have some delight in God.
All right.
Then we become
Praise
fishers
God.
of men. And that's the big one today. We can become fishers of men. Luke 5:4-11. Now when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a draught. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all the night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word I will let down the net. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. And they beckoned unto their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both ships, so that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he was astonished.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it. And all that were with him at the draught of the fishes which they had taken. And so was also James and John, the sons of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, Fear not,
Fear not.
henceforth thou shalt catch men. And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him.
Yeah.
All right.
It's time, especially for those that were here when you had to have Wednesday night service out there because you couldn't afford to have the lights and the heat on in here. It's time for you to realize that the harvest is here.
All right.
It's here, and it's going to be even greater than you could have thought.
Praise God.
It's going to be even
I believe that.
dream.
Yeah.
But you see, don't get tired because you've toiled all night. Don't think, Master, Jesus, I know you said you're going to do it, and I know we're supposed to have these crusades, God, but I'm tired. I don't want to go work again. I don't want to put door hangers on every door in that town. Really, God? I have to go do that. That's our attitude. Do you not realize how old I am or how young I am or I'm a single mother with kids? It doesn't matter where you are. If there's something you can do for God, it's time for you to stand up and step out and do it and help. Because it takes all of us operating where the Lord has us so that we can have the harvest that God has promised us.
Praise the Lord Jesus.
All right.
Because those that truly strive to be God's delight, they're like what we studied above. And then the following would be true. Numbers 14:8. If the Lord delight in us, then He will bring us into this land and give it to us. A land which floweth with milk and honey. We've been given this land. Some of you probably think we're stupid for for everything we're doing, all the driving we're doing, all the places we're going, taking dominion over schools, taking dominion over mountains and over areas of land. Well, I got news for you. That's what they did.
Right.
If we want to have harvest, somebody's got to step out and say, devil, we've got a shofar. We're going to blow it.
Yep.
We're declaring war on you. No more will the witchcraft be the highest growing thing, which it is, based on Time Magazine. I was sent an article from Sister Shaw, World Network of Prayer, that I shared with your pastor. White magic, good magic, is the fastest growing thing in this country right now. More so than any other religion. Oh, if it's good magic, it's okay. No. And those crystals, you need to be careful.
No such thing.
You need to be real careful if they say crystals have power. You need to go clean your house out and get rid of it. It's time for us to understand we can't touch any evil thing.
That's right.
And if it's in our home, we need to get it out as fast as possible.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
let's go on. Then, Psalms 37 and 23, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way.
Delighted
so
in
you
his
do
way.
all those things, then the Lord's going to delight in you. Your steps are going to be ordered by God. You see, you haven't been with us some places. But when we were at the Eastern Continental Divide, and we were on the tops of the mountains, and
My
we were
God.
at the Mason-Dixon line yesterday. I don't care that there was traffic whizzing by us at 65 or 70 miles an hour. We were having us a time in the Holy Ghost.
Yes, we
And
did.
so what? So what if they were looking at us thinking we were crazy? Big deal. You know what?
I've been looked at crazy lots of times.
I'm getting used to it. What really gets me, though, is when it's my own people looking at me that way.
Yeah.
That's what gets me, because I'm thinking, do you read the same Bible I read?
Yeah.
Because my God wants to do what he's promised this church.
All right.